Hello, this is Kyan. Now, I've always needed a webcam for quite a long time, and I haven't had one. Now, the reason I wanted a webcam was not just to show your face as in a webcam on YouTube videos, but it was also because I now have a graphics tablet and I use to animate stuff. And I thought, you know what, it's really cool looking at someone make something on Photoshop. It's a tutorial, not just watching someone paint for 2 hours. It'd probably be pretty boring. But how good would it be if you could see, in a small screen, instead of their face or something like that, just a graphics tablet. So what I've planned to do is do tutorials, but do the tutorials with my graphics pen, because I still haven't fully gotten used to my tablet yet. But I'm good enough at it to an extent where I think it'd be pretty sweet to do some videos. So the videos would consist of me using the graphics tablet and then doing it on the screen, which would kind of show you all different things you can do with the tablet. Because it's not as straightforward as it looks. Well, if you want to use it just for drawing stuff, then it is. But there's buttons and gestures and many things you can do. If you can do it with a mouse, you can do it with the tablet, which is what I think is awesome about it. Now, at the moment, the network's gone, so all you're seeing is looking for looking for iPhone. Now the internet has just come back, and I'm connecting to it now. And in a minute, there we are. You see a nice looking gentleman, is what I'm going to say, with a pair of half headphones, which are buried into my hair, kind of like. Now, anyhow, that was interesting and whatnot. If you care about afros and stuff, so there's a graphics tablet. I'm gonna pull this out. This is your phone camera, and that's a graphics tablet. It's about as simple as it looks. Now, I'm gonna go and do a monitor capture, and we can see Photoshop and all that and how it's used. So we've locked the focus in now, so let's do this. So I've got to put my right hand to the mouse because unfortunately I pushed the talk and one thing it doesn't have is a middle mouse button because it's a pen. So I'm going to quickly pull up an old cloud file I made at college today. So this is as simple as it looks. It is quite literally, it's not that simple, but it makes a pretty cool effect. Now, I quite frankly am appalling at art. I am very bad at it. But I managed to whip up a cloud like this. Now, at college, what I'm now doing is confetti course, which is a kind of a Nottingham-based semi-college slash studio, and it's very, very good. I'd recommend it to anyone who's thinking of doing something that doesn't involve useless skills that you'll never use again in your life. That's strange. I think the aspect ratio is off. Nope, just the webcam, or not webcam, but screen breaking. Anyhow, so you've got a nice cloud. Now, what I've used to make this is quite literally gone into brush tools, and I'm using a special brush preset which I made. Now you can make brush presets and it's very easy. Now I'm going to go into layer 2 and hide this one. To make a brush preset you have to do it in black, by the way, or it won't work. And I'm just going to whip up one now. That looks more like a UFO than a cloud, to be fairly honest, but it worked. So I'm gonna just blur out the edges a bit, turn the opacity down, or opacity, or whatever you want to call it, of this brush down, and do a tiny bit on the edge. The reason I did that is because it gives the same effect as a blur tool, except without the blur tool, which sometimes is annoying to use because it doesn't always do what you want it to. And the smudge tool is quite strange actually, I don't like using it. So here we've got a cloud in inverted commas, and we're going to use this as a template for a new brush, so it's as simple as it seems. Which probably doesn't seem that simple, but just follow what I do on screen now. And there you have it. You quite literally just define a brush preset and it just makes a brush out on that one. So now we can go back into the other clouds document and just mess around with it. Now, a really useful thing is to basically, if you go into your brush preset, shape dynamics for brushes. Now, basically this means that you can assign different controls to your pen. Now, pretty much most graphics tablets above £10 will probably have some form of pen pressure on, and it's about how, basically it says, it's how hard you push down with your pen. Now, the one I have is called the Bamboo I something, I can't remember what it was called, but it's a basic I model. So there'll be two models that start with I, and this is the basic one. The reason I didn't get Bamboo was because apparently they're pretty crap compared to this, and they're the same price. Now this has 4 buttons on it, which each do a different thing, which don't show up on screen. But basically that's Shift, Alt, Space, and Control. So if you need to hotkey something, you hold that down, and you might be like shift click and control click and whatnot. So that would be how you use that. Clicking is basically just tapping on the screen with a pen, as you would expect. The pen has 2 buttons. The front one pans. So the front one is set to move on the different applications. So if I first to hold this down and like pan around. So that's me clicking Alt. So obviously I could have used Alt on here, which is this button. So if I hold Alt here and drag with my pen, it will pan. And hold the pan tool down, it will like zoom in and out. And then if you've zoomed in and there's some bars, hold the same move button, and it pans. Also works with Google Chrome and stuff. If you want to scroll a web page, you hold down the pan button. It doesn't click anything, and you just scroll up and down. It's that simple. So that are the 3 buttons in this particular pen. I think you can have one sums with the scroll bar and all that stuff, all nice and fancy and all that. Now the other button that you saw, which is button right here, this is right click. I believe so. There's 2 ways to right click. Either hold the pen down and it kind of comes up. We can show you that now. If I just basically push the pen and hold it. Okay, trying to use my mouse and pen at the same time. You can't see the graphic anyhow. There will be a ring that kind of pops up around the cursor, and when you let release it, it kind of flashes blue and comes over the screen. And you can do that, or you can basically, as I said, just click the right button and it comes up as well. So if I put my cursor here, take it off and then click, yeah, it basically just comes up with the menu. It's that simple. I don't believe, yeah, the pan button doesn't do anything here. So that's about as simple as it is when it comes to the pen itself. And these, however, are much cooler. So if I change the size to that, then depending on how hard I touch it, so this is moderately light, you can get really light. Now this particular model has a really great definition, so you can move it really low amounts and it still draw. Also you can push down, it's got really high range of pressure values. So you can push down really lightly and get those really thin lines. And you can then just, hold it and push it down as hard as you can. I wouldn't recommend it unless you want to break your pen, but get a nice thick outline. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, so I was just going to play around and change the clown to about 5 minutes, if that, and then that'll be the end of the video. I just added a bit more shadow. It didn't really change much to do with it, really. Yeah, if I was a proper artist, I'd probably go maybe a thinner grey and go across here, or just this part. I'm not sure. Anyhow, interestingly, I'm trying to learn manga now. Have it up here. And I was doing some lessons on it. I'm not anywhere near where I want to be, so I'm not going to show anyone any drawings, but I'm just starting right at the very beginning of character sketching, which will be cool. So anyhow, see you later.